There's a Chinese saying that you should keep your plans quiet. If you tell people, it's not going to work out because, people will try to stop you for various reasons, whether they are jealous, whether they just don't want to see you do well, whether they are genuinely concerned. I've been in that situation where, I've told my business plan to, let's say, my family, and they're very conservative. I'm a girl, I should just stay in corporate where it's safe. I know that they mean well, but I'm on my own path. I don't have to live my life according to other people.
Things always make sense in hindsight. When the door doesn't open and you try a billion different keys and you try and bulldoze it down, it doesn't work. It's because it's not supposed to be your door. It will make sense years later and you'll be like, of course, I never wanted that tiny door. And anyway, I wanted that big one that I walked through.
When people say just take every opportunity away, I'm like, absolutely don't do that. Make your own opportunities. Be intentional, get creative. All the doors, they're gonna slam in your face. They're gonna hit you and smash
and you're gonna cry.
ground.
We've all been there. But then you're like, now it makes sense.
Yeah, there's always another door somewhere. And that's a hard perspective to have. But something I always say to myself is look, something bigger and better is coming and just show me how good it gets. And actually recently had some really bad news and kind of a rejection. And I was like, Maya, something bigger and better is coming your way. It has to be.
Because it is. Always is.
Always.
I never had the dream of being an entrepreneur like some people have. But I had the idea because I worked in a leadership consultancy, actually 3 leading leadership consultancy. Every time I spoke to my friends who were working in startups about what we did, they kept saying, oh, we need this. Our founders don't know how to lead. And I was like, oh, interesting. But I never thought, I could do it. But then having worked in the 3 biggest consultancies out there in my field, I didn't look up to the people there because I thought, yeah, you're really good in one area, but as a human being, holistically, I don't aspire to having your lifestyle at all. Then eventually was a trip to New York where I was surrounded by really inspiring founders, where me and my co-founder at the time decided to just try it. That's 5 years ago.
Never put limiting beliefs on yourself. I was diagnosed with auditory processing disorder, which basically meant that I wasn't able to communicate verbally as effectively as other children. It was pretty hard. It wasn't the fact that I wasn't confident. I still made loads of friends and I had fun, but it was this sort of disorder where my ears and my brain wouldn't necessarily coordinate very well, and my brain had a bad time struggling with speech. So I wasn't really good at communicating verbally. So obviously growing up as well, I wasn't as academic as my big brother and sister. So I was very creative, and that's where I thrived in. And I think, it was a subconscious thing for me that I didn't actually realize. So I think starting this business, there was a slight limiting belief of, am I good enough to do this? Am I smart enough to do this? I feel like I've always been a slightly an outsider, growing up. I never felt truly clever enough. And I think I just proved myself wrong. Now I'm doing big girl meetings and I'm able to communicate. And I'm just saying, it's great. And also with the disorder, you can grow out of it. It is a sort of thing where many kids do get diagnosed with it at a young age, and with a lot of good help, they can, grow out of it.
What I take from that is don't let anything hold you back.
Nothing holds you back.
If you have a dream,
just
go for it.
Do it. Yeah.